Hey guys, this is going to be a video on my wish list for Smite 2 in 2026. I've been playing the game since about 2013, and I feel like I've got pretty good ground to speak on what should be in the game and necessarily what my personal changes are. I've never been a high ranked player. I was a sweat on the Xbox back in the day, but I should have played ranked. Probably one of the esports pro in it, but can't have it all, I guess. What I want to talk about first here is going over some quality of life changes. Now, some of these might actually scare hires. They are pretty allergic to these things, but I thought it's worth giving it a mention. First off, which is kind of annoying, is in Smite 2, if you buy a skin from a chest or any other way other than the Traveler's Shop, is not being able to access the Wanderer's Path for it. What is that about? Why should I not be able to unlock the alternate skins for it if I already own the skin? That's annoying personally. I refuse to buy them unless the gems go on sale, and obviously I'm gonna buy them, right? But anyway, moving on to the second thing, and kind of surprised this isn't already in the game. Is when you go to the loadout screen and you are picking out certain things that you want for like your border, the badges, the kills and assists. Well, those are god dependent, I guess. It's not having the option to press the apply to all. So I have to manually go through 80 gods or 60, however many in Smite 2 in a minute, and select the border I want to have for each, which typically ends up being the same one anyway, right? That's a bit annoying. Let's go into the top 10 though of what I think could be some cool additions to the game. Maybe some like OG Smite players may agree. I'm probably going to be the only person that may think this. It's probably why I dropped out of game design after 2 years. But first off is item balancing. Now, Smite are allergic to item balancing. There are hundreds and hundreds, going back 10, 11 years, of people on forums asking for the characters to be balanced. My favorite thing actually they do is release a god, make them silly OP, and then they're like, ha, we're dialing back a bit. Anyway, but item balancing more specifically, god balancing I'm not too worried about. Is at the minute in Smite 2, especially ranked, everyone buys the same build. There's no, unless you're playing solo or support, there's no real. You're only really buying items that are pretty much meta. In solo and support lane, you're buying things that can like counter gods and that. However, a lot of the time people aren't buying things like spectral armor. Please buy spectral armor if they have auto attack heavy gods, I beg. But yeah, unless you're playing support or solo, you pretty much build the same thing. Like it's fairly boring. I'd like to see like a pretty like like every 2 weeks maybe an item gets pulled back and it pushes another item into like kind of like the meta space. I don't really like meta builds, but obviously there always will be a game like this. But unfortunately, Smite are about as allergic to this as Jake Paul is to fighting a boxer under 55. This brings me into my next point, which I think Smite 1 did better, but obviously it has a way longer development span, is more support items. I feel like we're pretty tied down to the items that we have at the minute. It'd be cool to have a bit more better options, other things, better actives, maybe. I think actives are a pretty cool addition, don't get me wrong. I'd like to see some different ones that maybe like, provide more of an aura space, provide better shields, maybe. Just to do a bit better of it. However, it's not like a massive thing for me. I do think the pool's good. Just some more stuff in there would be cool. On to my next point, which could have been a QOL mention. However, I think this is pretty big enough to have its own little segment. Is the ability to have a better friendly UI. Now, in the home screen, I feel like the friends party UI is pretty bad. I feel like it's clunky. Sometimes it doesn't always work well, and it just seems difficult to navigate, especially if you're in a party with like a random. Just how you're going to communicate with them. There is no party chat text option to sort of message and like talk to someone over. I feel like it's pretty poorly done, and it's kind of annoying if I'm trying to like duo queue rank for a player I just found, and there is just no way of talking until I'm actually in the game, which typically is after about 5 minutes. This next feature I think is actually really cool. It's actually one of my favorites, and I kind of wish I put it more at the end, but too excited to talk about it. Is to in Smite 1, they had these RuneScape skins, and these RuneScape skins had this text chat that would appear above their head every time you said something. I think it was only for like the VVGS and all that. And I think this should be implemented for everything. Like, I think it will make the game feel a bit better. I think it'd be cool to see what your teammates are saying, and because you're not always gonna be looking at the bottom left. Sometimes when your allies will call that there's a gank about to happen, but you're too zoned in on the Agni in middle lane, and you don't see that you're getting ganked, and then you start tilting at your teammate. It'd be cool if you could see it above it, so you could kind of get more centerized on your screen. And if people didn't like it, there surely would be an option to turn it off. But I think that'd be really cool and would bring people together. On the same note of bringing people together, I want to talk about bringing clans back into the game, but actually doing it this time. During about 2018, 2016, I think, clans were a thing, and you were able to earn points in it, and you were able to earn skins, like shadow skins and that. That was cool. Like, I guess it's not behind a paywall, which is why they probably stopped it. But having clans and being able to make points and get skins and maybe even add chests and that, or have a way to see. That's what kind of what Smite 2 is lacking a little bit. Obviously, with the coins that you can get from the Wandering shop, it's good. It's a way to earn stuff without paying directly. But it'd be good to like be able to have a community, and together you can earn skins and chests and maybe even gems. Unlikely, but it'd be cool to just be able to earn rewards in the game. Just feel like you're just doing more than just playing the game, and just it's leading to something that cosmetic, uh, like maybe like profile banners. It'd be nice to see like clan tags too. Like that is quite cool to see if you're going against clan or you're playing with a clan. It'd be nice to know. In addition to that, it'd be cool if we could have clan games maybe. In Valorant, we have Premier, which means that teams can go in their own little bracket and they can fight each other, and you get like unique titles and things like that. It'd be cool if you could just there'll be options to, like queue clan games on a certain date, and you can go against other clans and that if you're like and you generally putting into your own like MMR and that. That'd be quite cool. I'd quite like to see that. Onto something they did try in Smite 1. However, I think this could be done better in Smite 2. Is having tier 4 or tier 5 items. Because at the minute, when you get to the late game, you're just buying pots. And I think that's what makes games a bit dull in the late game. There's not really anything to work for anymore. It's just struggling team fights for like 10, 20 minutes at a time until you eventually pull together a good play. It'd be nice to know that you're progressing still towards something like a big item. Like it'd be decent to know like late game, like 40 minutes into a game, you're getting like a tier 5 item and you are powerful now, and it really changes the dynamic of a team fight. I know this kind of goes against what I said um with balancing and making items more fair, but because it's fair, it's something that's really out of the way. Like you cannot access it early game, I guess. Maybe it only unlocks level 20. Yeah, it'd just be nice to work more into something. This brings us to being able to go into a bot lobby while queuing for a game. Now, Smite 2 is still in early access, so the player counts aren't as high, which means we're waiting 5 to 6 minutes a game. I imagine if you get higher in the elo, the game queues are longer. It'd be cool to go into a bot lobby, sort of try out a build that you want to try, maybe try a different version of your build, play a different god or something. Just something to do while you wait. I know it's a bit TikTok brain that I can't wait 6 minutes for a game, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Don't see why not. Into my next big idea, and this will probably be one they do introduce because it'll make the dollar signs appear in Hi-Rez's eyes. But maybe like cosmetic trails. So as you're moving around the map, running around, just a little cosmetic trail that comes under the feet or whatever it is that the character walks on. Uh, and then if you have more kills, like a tier 5, it would glow more, do something more. Could be a bit distracting, could mess with frame rate. I don't know, I think it'd be a pretty cool idea. Just trying to think of little things that could be introduced into the game. My final two big ideas, probably my job application for hirers because they're gonna love these. And the first one is a replay system. I think it's be really good to be able to watch your games back and be able to see where you went wrong, where you went right, things that you maybe could have done better. I know in Smite 1 in Masters lobbies, these are automatically recorded. And it could give us the option to create better content, I think, especially with the big Smite streamers and YouTubers. Like, be able to tell a bit more of like cinematic shots of how things went down. Maybe even have some storytelling in like really like maybe like a cinematic way. Trying to think of new ideas for this, but it would be cool, especially be able to see if you got absolutely decimated in the game. To be able to see if you could have gone right. However, a lot of games in Smite are lost just purely out of hatred for each other. That'd be a good way to see if that didn't happen, and you could watch it back. This brings me to my last idea, and my favorite one that I've had probably since about 2016. I think this is when they first did an attempt at this. I think this was maybe to test the waters, and this is to have a PvE game mode. What I really like about this PvE game mode is that in Smite 1 there was such a big pool of characters, and as they get introduced into Smite 2, it'd be really cool if we could have different kind of dungeons, or like similar to what we had with I think it was Xingqian's Mountain and King Hercules Trial. This would be really cool to be able to form little like competitions and be able to take on these challenges. And even maybe if they done this really well, have 10-man features, which would be like raids. And what we really could bring to the table is a whole new player base. And a lot of these probably would stay if we was able to bring a fresh audience in and do a different design of the game. I think when we done Trial of King Hercules, this actually was really good. I love this. I mean, I'm a massive World of Warcraft player, so maybe I'm a bit biased to this. But being able to play these characters, which have really cool backstories, really cool designs and kits, and be able to like use items that we find in chests and take them to different areas and different maps and be able to just play with our friends in a different way. I think Smite is quite hard to play casually. Even in casual game mode, you're still farming the meta builds and maybe doing troll builds, I guess, in casuals. But I think if we'd done a PvE game mode, it would really be able to bring a whole new audience to this game. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out like Overwatch 2 and just gets announced and doesn't happen. Where I think Overwatch 2 would have smashed it if they did do a proper PvE game mode. I've actually looked into the game, maybe it is introduced now. But we can have like maybe cosmetic rewards behind this, and it's gonna be hard to do cosmetic rewards in a free game without them being paid for. But it'd be nice. It'd be cool to see. I think it'd be a really, really good idea. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this list. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to tell me what you disagree, like about it, what you think could be a cool addition, and if you have any ideas yourself. I think Smite is quite almost a fully polished game, so I don't think a lot of things can be added to it. But I tried my best here to think of ideas that they could bring to the game. If you did like it, give me a like, suggest what I could do next time. Yeah, thanks for watching.